Welcome everybody, and today we're taking a look at a brand new box set from Eureka as part of their Masters of Cinema series, and it is Adventure Calls, Karl May at CCC. So these are 7 westerns produced in West Germany, which it was at the time that these were made, which was between 1964 and 1968. So Karl May was the original writer for all 7 of these films, which were adapted from his novels. And all 7 of these also star Lex Barker in the leading role. So he was in the Dr. Mabuse films, or 2 of them at least, as Joe Como, which were also films made by CCC. So yeah, we're not the first time that we've ever looked at any films from him or from that production company, but still, I really like the look of this physical release, just in terms of the physical forms, never mind the films themselves. So yeah, really like this artwork that we've got going on here. Not sure if it says who's done it. No, don't think so. But it's great looking artwork regardless. I imagine it's an amalgamation of several plot points in throughout 7 of those films. And yeah, and nicely enough, all 7 films are across 4 discs. And we also have a booklet with this release as well. But we'll look at the films first. So yeah, indicators seem to have been going down the kind of more high quality route with this box set, which is kind of understandable. You know, 7 films costing £64.99, by the way, which is obviously quite a lot. But they have put in a great deal amount of attention to the physical details as well. So, first film we have is Old Shatterhand, which was directed by Hugo Fregonese. We've talked about him from a previous Eureka release called Black Tuesday. And then the second film is Winnetou and Shatterhand in the Valley of Death. So Winnetou is also a character in the first film. So that's a directed by Harold Reinl, who I think also did Dr. Mabuse films. And then we've also got The Shoot. Now this is directed by the most well-known director perhaps in this box set, and that is Robert Siodmak. So what I like is the fact that they've kept their original titles regardless of language. So it's really nice. And then the second film is Through Wild Kurdistan. So that one is directed by Franz Josef Gottlieb, who I think also did some of the Terror in the Fog, Wallace Crimmy films. Like I think one of them I didn't wasn't overly fond of, but at least one of them I was. So hopefully he's a bit better with this one. And then the only film to have its own disc all to itself is In the Kingdom of the Silver Lion. So this is also directed by Franz Josef Gottlieb. And yeah, this is one of the 3 films to star Lex Barker as the character Kara Ben Nemzi. So Through Wild Kurdistan and The Shoot also have his character in that one. And then the final 2 have Lex Barker playing the role of Dr. Karl Sterno. And these are both directed by Robert Siodmak. So the first one is The Treasure of the Aztecs. And then we have The Pyramid of the Sun God. So what I like about this collection is the fact that I have gone for the cardboard and plastic presentation rather than the typical full plastic Blu-ray cases. They have done this, I think, at least once time before. I am looking up at my shelf just to see if I could remember which one it was. But regardless, it is nice that they are doing this kind of presentation, because Indicator, with all of their like neo-noir box sets, have proven the likes that these kind of cardboard and plastic physical presentation just looks a lot better than a typical, plastic case. So yeah, I think the artwork just looks so much better when it's like that. Would I have preferred each film to have its own case? Yes, obviously, but I still like the way that they are presented. We also get a booklet with this release as well, which is around 57, 58 pages long. So yeah, whether or not that's just one shot from or one interpretation of a shot from the film, I'm not sure. That is definitely Shatterhand and Winnetou, though, as I have seen them together in pictures before. And yeah, inside the booklet we've got film credits. Then we've got The Making of a German Myth, Karl May from Imposter to National Treasure by Holger Haas. Then we've got A Frontiersman, Karl May and Popular German Cinema by Tim Bergfelder. Then we've got Old Shatterhand, Reclaiming and Rehabilitating the German Superman Archetype by Lee Broughton. Then more German than the Germans, Lex Barker in Germany by Boris Borowski. And then we've got viewing notes and release credits. So obviously Lex Barker was an American actor, so obviously not native to Germany. So yeah, it is kind of weird that he's gone down this route, but obviously a lot of other American actors would go over to like Italy in the 70s and such to try their hand at becoming even bigger stars, or just continuing their film acting career in other countries. But regardless, yeah, it's interesting that we're getting these kind of films on physical release, and yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a little bit weird watching these kind of Western films, with their Western production value, landscapes and scores and such, while it's all in German. But regardless, it shouldn't be any more different to seeing spaghetti westerns in the Italian language that we've talked about many times before. And there are all 7 films are also 4K restored, have 4K restoration, should I say, of the original camera negatives undertaken by CCC Film themselves. But they are all in 1080p HD presentations. You also have the original German audio tracks for all 7 films, and there are optional English dubs for select titles, while optional English subtitles newly translated for this release. And there's a new introduction to each film as well by Sir Christopher Frayling, author of Spaghetti Westerns, Cowboys and Europeans, from Karl May to Sergio Leone. And yeah, and then there's more specific extras there that we'll go through when we talk about each film. Not sure whether or not I'm going to review each of these films separately or just per disc instead. It will come down to whether or not I'm able to get a good enough picture of each film in terms of its physical presentation or not. But regardless, yeah, really looking forward to going through all 7 of these. Now, this isn't the first time Eureka have released a Western from Germany during the 50s or 60s. They did release another one from Deffer from East Germany. I never got that because I wasn't too sure how much I'd enjoy it, and I eventually rented it, and I wasn't particularly impressed by it. I think it was The Son of Great Bear. Yeah, wasn't overly fond of that, but got this box set purely because of the directors that are involved, because I've seen films from all, how many we've got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, no, 1, 1, 2, 4 different directors. So yeah, 4 different directors. I've seen films from all 4 before and enjoyed several of their efforts before, so that is one reason. And then also Lex Barker I've enjoyed films from before as well. So yeah, 2 real reasons there to get involved with them. And typically I have enjoyed the West German films sort of as much, if not maybe slightly more, than the East German counterpart. So yeah, on the whole, I am confident that I'll get something out of these. And yeah, being a fan of Westerns as well in general, these should be right up my street as well. So yeah, a really nice looking box set. All 7 films there listed on the back of the hard box, and yeah, looking forward to delving into all of them. And yeah, this will definitely shoot the likes of Lex Barker up onto my on my letterbox top 10 actors for sure, as obviously all 7 star him. So yeah, there is just one final thing to talk about, and that is the fact that on the Old Shatterhand, it does state, and I'll go through this on my review as well, but it does state on the disc that the film has had some shots of horse falls censored at the request of the BBFC in accordance with the cinematograph films in brackets Animals Act of 1937. So that's basically just to make sure that animals aren't harmed in the making of films, and if they are, it is censored as a result. So yeah, how much that impacts this film in general, I'll have to see how many times it cuts to black, because that is typically what happens when they are editing these films to go in accordance with the BBFC. So yeah, hopefully it doesn't affect it too much, but regardless, yeah, looking forward to this one, which will be the first one that we'll review. Hopefully we'll get one film done every 2 days in terms of a video and a review. If it turns out that I can only really do it per disc, then that might be a little bit longer than that. But regardless, hopefully all 7 of these are well worth the watch, and this is well worth the purchase. So yeah, but if you've seen any of these films in this box set before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on them. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.